Hello, this is Mr. Eric. In this video, I am going to show you how to use the TLG Financial Projection Worksheet. Now basically this worksheet is an Excel spreadsheet and we have all the variables connected to offering classes where the ones that can change are, you can manipulate them, and the ones that are affected by that have formulas built in to show you how it affects them. This will help you determine a number of different things. Let me show you what that is. The first, it will help you decide how much to charge your students. It can help you determine whether to rent a room by the hour or pay a percent of the income you make to a location. How much rent or percent to pay a location. How to project your potential income, and how to set goals for yourself to achieve that income, the income you'd like to make. So what do we have here? You'll simply go ahead and download this chart right here, and we'll click that, and when you click that, it will open up this Excel spreadsheet. And now let me go through each one of these columns and give you context for the spreadsheet, and you'll see how it works. Number one, this is based on a 10-week session, and the TLG sessions are offered 4 times a year. Each one is suggested to be 10 weeks. Column number one. Oh, and by the way, we have on top this chart here, this section, is for those who wish to offer pay rent for your location, and below it is those who wish to give a percentage of your income rather than pay rent. So let's take a look at these columns. The first column is the number of classes that you offer per session. This basically means, since our classes are weekly, how many classes do you want to offer a week? Do you want to offer 1 class a week? Do you want to offer 15 classes a week? Why 1 through 15? Because the least number of classes you can offer is 1, and the most we've ever seen anybody offer is 3 classes a day, 5 days a week, 15. So you'll choose somewhere in there. And you'll base that decision on the income goals that you have. Okay, the next thing, number of students per class. You'll notice, of course, these two are the same on the 2 different sections. Now, the number of students in a class, we suggest that you have it be 12. However, your classes may not totally fill up, so it might be a little bit less. Or you may want to have a little more than 12. And this is in orange. All the numbers in orange you can change and manipulate, and it will affect the net income. Now, I want to let you know that on this chart we have gross income and net income. And to place this in context for this worksheet, gross income represents all the monies that you bring in, and net income represents all the monies you bring in minus your expenses. So it's basically how much you end up making. Okay, the number of students per session is just simply the number of students in your class versus the number of classes you have. So if you have 1 class and 12 students, it's 12. If you have 2 classes and 12 students per class, you have 24. Very straightforward. The next variable in this column is the income per student. This is basically how much you charge for your classes. Now we put $165 in here, and that's because that's a good amount to charge. That's what I charge. But remember, pricing is up to you. So this is one of the variables, notice it's in orange, that you'll be able to change and see how that affects both your gross income and your net income. All right, our first, gross income per session. Remember, we do 4 sessions a year. So if you were to offer 1 class and you have 12 students and you charge $165, your gross is $1,980. However, you'll offer that 4 times a year and your gross will be $7,920 for 1 class. But that's your gross. Your net is still good, but you need to subtract your expenses. What are they? Number 1, the rent per hour. Now in this column right here on top, it's rent per hour. Notice that this is in orange, which means that it can be changed and manipulated. We put $30 because that's an average amount that we hear, but it may be less in some places and it may be more in others. Now, if you go to the chart below, notice that this is the only place where it is actually different. All the other columns are the same, all the other variables are the same, but in the column below, your expense is not rent, it's rather an alternative to rent, which is paying a percentage of your income, your gross, to the location that you work at. We put 20% because that is an amount that seems to have worked well. I do the percentage model, and I do use 20%. And I've also paid rent, and $30 was a good amount. But again, these are choices that you'll get to make. All right. Now what we have here is rent per session. Now notice it's the same on both one, and even though you're using a percentage on this bottom chart, it still constitutes rent. It's still what you're giving for the use of the space. If you have $30 an hour for your class and you have 10 classes, then obviously per session the cost is $300. So that is an expense that you would have to pay. Another expense is $25 family fee. Now that is the monies that goes to TLG, to the company. Now that $25 per family provides for you, of course, the CDs, the download, the coloring book, and activity book, but it also gives you the right to offer the classes for profit, gives you our brand, the ongoing training and support. So it is really it's a complete package, and that's why we call it the family fee. It is the same in both of these charts. And again, if you have 12 students and you are paying $25 family fee, which is the cost, it will be $300. Now the net per session is simply your gross per session minus your expenses. So if you offer one class, you will make $1,380, and if you do that for the whole year, offering one class a year brings in $5,520. And that's your actual profit. Now the same thing right here. Notice if you offer one class and you have these variables, 12 students per class, 165 is what you charge, 20% to your location, then you minus your expenses, your net per session is 1,284, and your gross is, your net for the whole year is 5,136. So you can see that it actually works better for you to pay rent. However, there's more risk when you pay rent. Also, when you give a percentage to your location, they certainly have a lot of motivation to promote you. So there's pros and cons to each. Okay, now we're going to get to the good stuff. It's time to manipulate. So everything in orange can be changed, and you will change these and see how it affects your net income. Let's go ahead and start on top here. Let's say instead of 12 students, you decide that you're going to do 10 students. Okay, let's enable editing. So we'll go ahead and do 10 students. Now notice we have on the net per year 5,520. As soon as we put in 10 students, it becomes $4,400. Wow. What a big difference 2 students make. Of course, it's 2 times 4 sessions, so it's really 8 students. This really drives home how important the number of students you have in your class is. We can go back to this and say, well, instead of 10 students, let's shoot for 14. 6,640. So here are the variables. With students, you'll play with this and you'll see how important it is. Now, once again, we recommend 12, but bear in mind, it takes time to build up to 12, especially if you have many classes. Your income per student is the amount you charge. So right here is 165. That's what I charge. You can charge what you want. Let's put it at 155 and see what happens, what changes. Okay, and you can see that it was a change of about $500. These are the type of variables that we want you to play around with. And you'll notice that this increases the more you add it to the number of classes you have. So let's do 155 all the way down. Right now, if you offer, we'll look at the biggest number. If you offer 15 classes, 12 students a class, and 165, and $30 rent, $82,800 a year. That's pretty good for part-time work. But let's go ahead and move this down, 155, and it comes to $75,600. Let's, for fun, put this at $500. Just kidding. All right. So this is the basic idea. I'm going to put it back for you. The final variable that you get to manipulate is the rent per hour. So right now we have 30, but what if your location charges you more? What if they charge you 35? How will that affect your income? Well, this will show you. Now, same thing right here. Percentage of gross location. What if we change that from 20% to 25%? What happens? There you see it. What if we change it to 15%? And to affect all of the chart, you can just simply take this square, put it all the way down, and there you go. So those are the variables, the ones in orange, that you get to manipulate to determine your gross income and then your net income, which is your gross minus your expenses. Once you decide how many classes you want to teach, or you decide how much money you'd like to make, you can then use this chart to say, okay, well, if I'd like to make, let's just say $20,000 a year, then if I have these variables, I need to teach 4 classes. If the variables change, I need to teach this many classes. And this is one of the ways that this worksheet will help you. All right, so once again, to summarize, how will this help you? Number 1, it will help you determine how much to charge students. It can help you determine whether to rent a room hourly or to pay a percentage of income to the location. It can help you decide how much rent or percent to pay to a location. It can help you figure out how to project your potential income. And finally, when you know what your potential income is, what you'd like it to be, it can help you decide how many classes to offer to achieve your financial goals. Okay, I hope this is very helpful for you. Take care.